Okay, let's talk about something that is, for sure, one of the toughest situations you might ever face. And that's trying to help an aging parent who just insists they don't need it. This whole explainer, which is based on some really great guidance from Daily Caring, is all about how to take that painful standoff and turn it into a real partnership. Hearing those words, "I don't need your help," it's just heartbreaking, isn't it? You're seeing all the signs you are worried sick, and you're just met with this wall. It's so frustrating, it's painful, and it leaves you thinking, okay, what on earth am I supposed to do now? And it really does feel like this impossible standoff, right? You've got your love and your concern over here, and their fierce independence on the other. The thing is, pushing harder, it almost never works. So let's explore a totally different approach, one that's about building a bridge, not a battlefront. And let's be honest, the reasons you're worried are so real. You can see them, right? Maybe it's the mail piling up, or you notice they've forgotten their medication again. Or maybe it's that unsteady walk that just makes your heart leap into your throat. These are not small things. They're really clear signs that they might be struggling to keep up. Our first instinct is to just push, to insist, to list out all the reasons they need help. But that kind of confrontation, it usually just makes them dig their heels in even more. The good news is there is another way, a much more collaborative and frankly more effective path forward. So here's the crucial first step. And I mean, this is absolutely the most important thing to do first. We have to shift our perspective. Before we even think about having that conversation, we need to understand the real reason they're saying no. And trust me, it's almost never what we think it is. And this is what I mean. It completely reframes the whole problem. We see stubbornness, right? But from their reality, it's a profound, desperate struggle for control. A fight to hold on to their independence, their identity, the life they've always known. It's all rooted in fear. So when they refuse help, it's not really about rejecting you. It's not about your love. It's a defense mechanism. They feel like their independence, their whole sense of who they are, is being stripped away. And once you get that, well, it changes everything about how you approach this. Okay, so with that new perspective locked in, let's get practical. The playbook for turning this whole thing around, it starts way before you actually sit down for the talk. In fact, the preparation part, it's everything. So step one is to just research. Figure out what solutions are even out there before you bring it up. Next, talk to their doctor if you can. Getting a professional, objective opinion can be a huge help. And finally, choose the right time and place. Pick a quiet, neutral spot where you won't be distracted. Doing all this homework shows them you're taking this seriously, but more importantly, you're taking them seriously. And here's a really important mindset shift. The goal of this first conversation is not to get a final decision. The pressure is completely off. Your only job here is to gently introduce the idea. That's it. Just plant the seed. You have to remember, this is a huge change, and most people need some time to just let it sink in. Okay, so now we're at the talk itself. This is where all that empathy and understanding we were talking about becomes your single most important tool. Remember, this isn't a negotiation. It's a conversation that has to be built on respect. So you've got to really try to put yourself in their shoes. Listen, and I mean really listen to their worries and fears. Think about how this might affect their self-image. They've been the strong one their whole lives. And always, always focus on the benefits for them. This isn't about you being right. It's about them feeling heard. And this is probably the most powerful reframe you can offer them. The idea that accepting a little bit of help at home doesn't mean they lose independence. It actually helps them keep it. That's the key. This is the very thing that can help them stay in their own home safely for longer. So instead of focusing on what they can't do anymore, you frame it as gaining something. It's about having more time and energy for the stuff they love. Hobbies, family, friends. You're essentially saying, hey, what if you could spend less energy on chores and more energy on your grandkids? It flips the script from loss to gain. But let's be real. Even if you do everything perfectly, this is a really tough conversation. It might not go well. So what happens if they still say no? What if they get upset? Well, this is where the follow-up comes in, and it is just as critical as the talk itself. That first conversation is only the beginning. It's your patience and your positivity after the talk that's going to keep that door open. So whatever you do, try to avoid these things. Don't interrupt them. Don't raise your voice. Don't refuse to see their side of things. And definitely don't argue. Every single one of these just builds that wall higher. If you feel yourself getting frustrated, and you probably will, just take a breath. The goal here isn't to win. Instead, you just stay patient. You keep things as positive as you can, and you keep listening. The more you listen, the more you'll understand their specific fears. Maybe it's, I don't want a stranger in my house, or there's no way I can afford that. Once you know the real problem, then you can start finding solutions that actually appeal to them. So let's kind of wrap this up by talking about the most important mindset to have through this whole journey. It's really about adjusting your own expectations and just understanding what this process is really like. Because this really is a marathon, not a sprint. You're not going to solve this in one talk. You're probably not going to solve it in 1 week. It's a long, delicate process, and it takes endurance. And that means we have to completely redefine what success looks like. Success isn't them just giving in and agreeing to everything. No. Success is a single yes to one small service. It's seeing their stance soften just a little bit. It's them agreeing to just a trial period. You have to celebrate those tiny wins. And finally, just remember to be gentle with your parent as they go through this. This is a huge emotional change for them. But also, please be gentle with yourself. You're doing the best you can in a situation that is just incredibly hard. And that's enough. So I'll leave you with this one question. Forget about the giant leaps for now. What is one small, gentle step you can take today? Maybe it's just 5 minutes of research or finding a good time to call to start turning this standoff into a partnership.